In this video, I'm going to talk about 30 plus keyboard shortcuts that every developer should know about. I have divided this video into 4 sections. Firstly, we'll learn about the basic keyboard shortcuts. Secondly, you'll know all about cursor movements. What do I mean cursor movements? I mean we'll control everything with keyboard instead of mouse. Thirdly, we'll talk about IDE shortcuts. I'm using Visual Studio Code as my text editor, and at the end of this video, I'll walk you through all the important browser shortcuts. Without further ado, let's start. Hello and namaste everyone, this is Jitsaru with Coding Design. Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Firstly, let's talk about some basic key. As you can see, I'm in my code editor. If you are in Windows operating system, then you can press Ctrl A, and in Mac OS, you can press Command A. So with the help of that key, you'll be able to select all the text. And talking about the next basic shortcut key, that is copy and paste. So once again, if you press Ctrl C, you will be able to copy, or Command C. And in order to paste, you can press Ctrl V in Windows and Command V in Mac OS. If you want to undo any changes, then you can press Ctrl G in Windows and Command Z in Mac OS. Similarly, if you want to redo the changes, in Windows you can press Ctrl V, and in Mac OS, Command Shift G. Similarly, whenever there is any changes in your file, you need to save. So for that, you can press Ctrl S or Command S. Similarly, if you want to switch currently open in Windows, then you can press Alt Tab, and in Mac OS you can press Command Tab, and also you can press their F4 key. So that was all about basic shortcut keys. Now let's talk about cursor movements. As you know, if you want to go to any specific line of code, obviously you will use arrow keys. If you want to go to the first character of the line, then you can press home key, but it depends upon the keyboard. So if you don't have specific home key, then you can press function key with left arrow. Similarly, if you want to go to the last character of the line, then you can press end key or function plus right arrow key. Similarly, if you want to go to the start of the file, then you can press Ctrl plus home or Command plus home key. And if you want to go to the end of the file, then you can press Ctrl plus end key or Command plus end key. If you want to move one word at a time, then you can press Ctrl with different arrow keys. Similarly, if you want to delete whole word at a time, then you can press Ctrl plus delete key or Command plus delete. Now let's talk about the shortcut keys that you can use within your code editor. So for the code editor, I'm using VS Code. If you want to comment out code, you can press Ctrl plus / or Command plus /. And if you want to uncomment that code, then once again you can press same keys. Similarly, you can select this code and you can comment out that code. If you want to rename your file name, you have to do right click and just click that rename option. Instead of that, you can press F2 key to rename your file. What if you want to select any specific text that has occurred multiple times? So in order to do that, you can press Ctrl plus D or Command plus D. Did you see that? Now you will be able to select all the input text or input element. So now with the help of this technique, for all these input element, you can give now class name. So this shortcut key helps you to save lots of time. So I highly recommend you to learn this shortcut key. Similarly, there is another more advanced key. Instead of pressing Ctrl plus D, you can press Ctrl Shift L or Command Shift L. Then you will be able to select all the input text at once. Okay, so this is a bit more advanced than Ctrl plus D. Similarly, talking about another shortcut key, this is also really important one. If you want to copy this line of code and if you want to paste, then instead of copying and pasting this code, you can press Alt Shift down arrow, or in Mac OS you can press Option Shift down arrow. That will help you to duplicate your line just below that. And if you want to duplicate just above, then you can press Alt Shift up arrow or Option Shift up arrow. Similarly, if you want to move this line to a specific new position of line, then by holding Alt key or Option key, you can press down arrow or up arrow. With the help of that, you will be able to move your single line of code. Similarly, if you want to quickly find your files, then you can press Ctrl P or Command P, and you can type any specific file name and you can find it out. And if you want to switch these tabs between different files, then you can press Ctrl Tab or Command Tab. And another important shortcut key is that if you want to open terminal and if you want to run different commands, then you can press Ctrl plus backtick or Command plus backtick key. With the help of that, you will be able to open your terminal and you can choose different cells if you do have, and you can run different commands. As bonus, in VS Code, if you install this extension called Live Server, then with the help of this extension, you can open your HTML file in your default browser, and in order to open that, you can press Alt L plus O or Option L plus O. So now with the help of this extension, whenever there is any changes in your file, it will automatically reload your browser. As you can see, if I change any code, you will automatically see the update. Now let's talk about the different shortcut keys that you can use within your browser. So I'm using Brave browser. Almost all the keys, they are same. Okay, in your browser, if you press Ctrl T or Command T, then with the help of that key, you will be able to open new tab. Let's start some gaming wallpapers. Let's close that tab. Now if you want to open that previously closed tab, then you can press Ctrl Shift T or Command Shift T, and all this is possible. It's because all the history, they are saved in our browser. As you can see, these all are my browsing history. Let's say you might have visited more than 50 websites, and if you want to delete all the browsing history, then it might be a headache to select all the browsing history and delete them. So instead of that, you can press Ctrl Shift Delete. Then it will help you to clear your browsing data. Similarly, if you want to focus on address bar, then you can press Ctrl plus L or Command plus L. And if you want to open it into new tab, then you can press Alt plus Enter key or Option plus Enter key. If you want to inspect a specific element, you have to right click and hit that option Inspect. Instead of that, you can press Ctrl Shift C or Command Shift C to inspect a specific element. If you are front-end developer, then you might have already used this feature called Device Toolbar. With the help of this tool, you will be able to check or test your websites on different devices. So based on that, you can make it a responsive website. So in order to toggle that device toolbar, you can press Ctrl Shift M or Command Shift M. Talking about another important shortcut key, as you can see in your browser, if you are opening in normal window, it will track all your history, browsing history. So if you want to open private window or incognito window, then you can press Ctrl Shift M or Command Shift M. So with the help of that, you won't be able to save any browsing history. Similarly, this is the link, and if I click, it will redirect to that specific website, but that will be open within your same tab. But if you want to open that link into new tab, then you can press Ctrl plus click or Command plus click. Then that will help you to open your link in new tab. Similarly, in order to switch between different tabs, you can press Command plus numeric key, or it's similar to that code editor. If you want to take your browser to the full screen, in Windows you can press F11 key, and in macOS, Command Shift F. Similarly, in order to open that developer tool, you can press F12 key, and you can use different developer tools. And last but not the least, as you know, with the help of F5 key, you will be able to reload your browser. But in order to hard reload the browser, you can press Ctrl plus F5 or Command F5. So with the help of this, you will be able to refresh your browser in such a way that all the cache file, they will be removed and it will start as new. I know I have missed some other keyboard shortcuts, therefore you can leave comment about the keyboard shortcuts that you use in your regular basis. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did learn something, smash that like button. If you have any kind of queries, let me know in the comment box. Share this video if you think someone needs it. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell icon. Remember, there is always more to learn, so keep learning.